My boyfriend confessed that he might not actually love me anymore. Before my boyfriend Steven and I dated, he had someone else who was special to him, Jackie, my best friend. They were that couple who made people roll their eyes from how cute they were together. When they got engaged, I was genuinely happy for them. But on the day they were supposed to get married, Jackie disappeared. There was no call, no text, no explanation, just gone. And Steven was completely destroyed. I stayed with him that entire month just making sure he didn't do anything stupid. And soon, something between us shifted. 8 months later, we started dating and we've been going steady ever since. Until 2 nights ago when Jackie came back abruptly. I didn't even know she was in town until I saw how Steven was acting like a complete mess all day. Distracted, forgetful, just absolutely out of it. He'd forget we had plans. He'd stare at his phone during dinner. He'd zone out mid-conversation like his mind was somewhere else entirely. And it worried me. So that evening, I finally asked him, "Is everything okay?" He stared at me with wide eyes, suddenly out of the weird trance, and flashed a smile. "I'm fine," he said, clearly a lie. "Is it because Jackie's back in town?" "I mean, I heard from my mom, but I don't want to talk about her," he snapped. My heart jumped at the sharpness of his words. It was the first time he'd ever spoken to me like that. I bit my lip trying to fight back tears and asked quietly, "Steven, do you still love me?" His face softened immediately. He pulled me into a hug and said yes. He held me tight and told me he loved me, but I felt it in my gut that he was only trying to convince himself that he loved me. I quickly found out just how true his words were the night after. It was supposed to be our anniversary celebration, 3 years together. I got to the restaurant early after work and sat at our usual table. I ordered his favorite wine, laid out the gift I got for him on the table, and waited. An hour passed and I was still there waiting, checking my phone every 2 minutes, worried that something bad happened to him. After 3 hours of sitting there, I finally got a text. "Sorry, can't make it. Something came up." That was it. No phone call. Just those 7 words. But I knew exactly where he was. I drove to the park where the 3 of us used to hang out in college, the spot by the lake where we'd stay up talking until sunrise, and I saw them sitting there together on the bench. Steven looked at her with the softest, patient expression, something he never once showed me in the 3 years we dated. I walked closer but stayed hidden behind the trees, close enough to hear everything. "I can't believe you're really here," Steven said, his voice breaking. "Where were you all this time? Why'd you leave?" "I'm so sorry for everything," Jackie said, placing her hand over his gently. It was all moving so fast between us back then. I kept telling myself I was ready for marriage when I wasn't, so I ran. But all these years, Steven, there was no one else on my mind but you." She lifted his hand to her lips and pressed it gently. "But I heard you're with someone else now." Steven lowered his eyes and nodded. "It just kind of happened." My chest tightened at his words. "Just happened?" "Everything between us summarized like it was an accident." "Do you love her?" Jackie asked bluntly, her eyes meeting his. The silence between them stretched on. "Honestly, I don't know. I thought I did. But seeing you again, I'm not sure anymore." Jackie leaned closer. "Is there still a chance for us? If I wanted to try again?" I knew he'd been waiting 3 years to say yes. So before he could answer, I stepped out from behind the trees, walked up to them, and pulled off the promise ring he'd given me last Christmas when he had told me he was ready for a happy ending. I dropped it in his hand. "Wait," he called out, but I kept walking, still stupidly holding on to the hope that he'd follow me and stop me. He didn't, and that told me everything I needed to know. He didn't come home that night, or the next night, or the night after that. So I packed his things into boxes and left them by the door, changed the locks, deleted his number, did all the things he never had the guts to do when Jackie felt him years ago. And 5 days later, he knocked on the door. I looked through the people and saw him standing there looking exhausted. He held the ring up and knocked again. "Can we talk?" His voice was muffled through the door. "I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but please, can I come in? Just to talk. That's all I'm asking." I stood there with my hand on the doorknob. Part of me wanted to open it. Part of me wanted to hear what he had to say. Part of me still loved him despite everything. But just when I made my decision, my phone buzzed with a new text from Jackie that read, "Please hear him out. There's something you have to know. Something we never told you." Full story on channel linked below.